Great day, great people. It's Tracy from the what? Bed of Truth, not a lie. Today's show is sponsored by Reminiscing, back in the days, Sequins, Jamaicans, especially because I was talking to my little sister today from Connecticut, and I guess today is the West Indian Parade. We used to love the West Indian Parade back in the day. Okay. Anyways, so it's sponsored by that, sponsored by Sequins and Reminiscing on the love we had. Anyways, from the Better Truth today, we're going to be talking about communication. And communication, I'm going to tell you what it's defined as. Communication is the key, though, to all relationships, okay, first of all. So it's defined as the process of conveying information, thoughts, or feelings through various means, including speaking, writing, and nonverbal cues. Now, you know that they say that nonverbal cues are like 70% of communication, I believe the stat is, but Google it. And it also says that it's a two-way process that involves sending and receiving. So there's a sender and a receiver on both ends, whomever's starting out the dialogue, aiming for a shared understanding between the sender and receiver, okay? So the key points to communication are verbal, nonverbal, sending and receiving, clarity and understanding, feedback, and context. Okay? Like context clues when you were growing up, like in elementary school. Okay, got it. The importance of communication is to build relationships, conflict resolution, goal achievement, and personal and professional development. Again, 5 types of communication are verbal, nonverbal, written, visual, and listening. Listening is like a real keen skill that you have to practice, because a lot of people listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Okay? You understand me? So I will say that I've had to work on my communication style based on feedback from friends that sometimes I'll cut them off, and it's not intentional, and I'll have to apologize, but I've worked on it over the years. And I think it's because when they were talking about something and I have this zeal to discuss it and about the topic, I'm all excited and I don't want to forget my point. I tend to do that. But moving forward, the past couple years, I always make sure that I'm trying to remember not to cut the other person off. And if I do so, I do apologize, because I can take accountability, and I can always learn, even at this wonderful age in my wonderful 20s. You know what I'm saying? You always learn. Anyways, so this week, in all aspects of communication, I started thinking about social media and how people communicate on that, and especially when people communicate online, right? And you see people, friends or friends of friends or whomever, communicate online, and it's like they want to share so much with you, and then they go ghost or what have you. Hey, Trinity girl. They go ghost or what have you, and you're like, oh, wow, what happened? So for an example, what I was discussing this week was the fact that sometimes I see people that I know, like I said, or people that I know through other people or what have you, that say they're in a relationship or whatever. They put it on social media, right? There goes Trinity. Again, remember, this is the guest bedroom and this is Trinity's bed with her blanket and stuff. Anyway, I digress. So anywho, yes, so they get on social media and they're like, oh, I'm in a relationship now, this and that. And they post their boo, or, oh, I'm engaged. They post the ring and all of this and all of that. By the way, my grandparents' original ring, 57 years before my grandmother died, unlike a lot of marriages now. Yeah, so anyways, I digress. So then it's like, okay, they've invited you into their story, right? I'm just leaning and laying and chilling. So they invite you into their story, right? And then you notice, oh, wow, I wonder, you don't see any new alerts or whatever. When you see someone get engaged, you assume they're going to get married sometime. So it's a couple years or months later, and you don't see pictures of them no more, this and that. So I often wonder, like, okay, they invited us into the story, and then the story ended. Oh, wow. Okay. It's their page. They could do what they want to do with it. But here is the issue I have. When you, if it's a friend, make comment or say something on their page like, oh, so when is the wedding or whatever, months later or a year later, and they're like, oh, I ain't with that person or whatever, or they get defensive, that's where I have an issue. Because don't get upset and offended with me because of whatever happened. You put it on social media, communicating to the world, your friends, or what have you, about, oh, I'm in a relationship, or oh, I'm engaged. So you invite us to the movie, and then we don't get to know how it ends, how it's progressing, or whatever. That's where I have the issue. So I often think it's funny that, like I said, and I've seen this a lot over the years of social media, because I often wonder, like, people I know, I'm like, oh, wow, they got engaged, and then don't think about it. Then it's like, oh, wow, I wonder if they got married. And you may go back and look. You don't see pictures of the peoples no more. No posts, my boo, this and that. Nothing. And I just think that that is amazing. But the more amazing part is that you invite people by communicating on social media into your story, and then there's no ending. Or there is an ending. We just weren't invited to that part. So we're invited to the premiere, if you will, like the movie premiere, but we're not invited to the actual movie, I guess. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Because I always think it's funny, because I know myself, first of all, I don't put a lot of stuff on social media. I put on social media what I want for people to know, and they may be doing that too. But my point is, if I put something on there like special moments and things like that, if someone comments or asks me a question, I'm not going to get mad, because guess what? I opened up the fucking door, okay? I opened up the door for you to come in. Now you in, and now I want you to get out. No, that's not how it works with communication. Sorry. So maybe some people need to go back to how to communicating effectively, or keeping some stuff to yourself. Because social media is like so much noise. Like, for real. Like, important things, I will call my friends. It's not going to necessarily go on social media. Or if I need to give an update, it's going to be a call or a text. Moreover, a call, because I'm more of a talk on the phone type person. Texting is okay for immediate, quick stuff. But when it's something that's very important, like someone's getting married, engaged, someone died, something big happened into your life, you met one of your goals, what have you, it's an emergency, that's when you pick up the phone and call somebody. Another thing, I don't like to learn about those type of incidents from friends on social media. It's like, oh wow, that happened? I wonder why she ain't called me, or I wonder why he ain't called me and tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, a text, some things are for social media, right? Some things are not. Some things are for texting. Some things are not. Some things warrant a call, and sometimes they don't. And the other thing is, with that call, if I leave a voicemail message, listen to it. That's the reason we have voicemail. Because I can't stand when I leave a voicemail and then someone calls me back. Because, like, you probably didn't even have to call me back. Had you listened, part of communication, to the voicemail that I left, then you wouldn't have to call me more times than not. Because now I got to pick up the phone, and now I have to be redundant in what I was communicating to you. That's another thing that irks me. So yeah, today it's about communicating effectively, efficiently, and knowing how and when to communicate, knowing who your audience is, and what type of information you're communicating to that said audience. Okay? So again, from the bed of truth on this Sequin Saturday, you have an amazing day. And remember, take in how you're communicating, reassess, realign, and communicate effectively, or try to, or put it into practice. All right? All right, everyone. Have a great day, and I'm waiting for some comments down there in the comments section. Have a great Saturday. Ciao.